Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah. In alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Inshallah, we're continuing with our topic of prescribed punishments in Islam. Prescribed punishments in Islam. And yesterday we spoke about the prescribed punishment for the different types of zina or adultery. And remember, prescribed punishments, we're speaking about the punishments that are prescribed by Allah, not the ones prescribed by the leaders. Okay, there are certain crimes that a person commits against society in which Allah views as being so horrific that he has issued the punishment for them. And we have to execute or carry out the punishment. Adultery is one such thing. Okay, a fornication, homosexuality. Well, today we're going to speak about another horrific crime, which is slander. This is another crime of which Allah has prescribed punishment. And when we talk about slander, I'm not talking about slandering me by saying about I got a big nose when I really don't. I'm talking about slander in regards to accusing, which is what the homework was about from yesterday, and also what the quiz was about today, accusing another person of adultery or accusing another person of fornication or sodomy when it's not true. Like, for example, we had on the quiz today, a married woman is sitting in a restaurant having dinner with a non-mahram man. This is a public restaurant. You come in and see her and say, oh my gosh, she's committing adultery. No. He could be a man from her job who saw her sitting there and came and sat with her to talk with her or whatever. She's dressed properly. She's covered properly. There's nothing wrong with her sitting there eating and talking to this man in this public place. You don't even know the circumstances. That's not adultery. In order to accuse her of adultery, you have to see her on the table having sex with that man. And you have to bring 4 other male witnesses to also testify that y'all saw her openly engage in sexual intercourse. To make the accusation that this woman is committing adultery and you have no proof, you're slandering her. You're lying. What is slander? Slander means to say something about a person that they would not like, and it is a lie. Slander is worse than backbiting. Backbiting is to say something about a person that's the truth behind their back that they wouldn't like for you to say. Well, slander is worse. It's to say something about a person that they would not like, and it is a lie. You are lying on that person. And we had another example in the quiz today. You see a man and woman kissing. They are not married. A man and woman are kissing. They are not married. So you say, oh my God, they're fornicating. Astaghfirullah. Yeah, they're kissing. But did you see them having sexual intercourse? You have to bring forth 4 witnesses who have seen them engaging in sexual intercourse. Kissing is a form of fornication, but it is not sexual intercourse. So we have to be careful making allegations against people, guys. Because when you make allegations without proof, you're slandering them, you're lying on them, and you're attacking their character. I could have been in Applebee's eating alone, and a man I work with saw me and said, hey, Layla, how are you? Oh, let me come over. And he sits his plate down with me. And oh my God, did you know at the job we got a meeting tomorrow? And blah, 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 talking about the job. And we're sitting there eating and talking. I'm dressed properly. I'm covered. There's no flirting, no touching, no nothing. Business. And you have now slandered my character. You have destroyed my reputation. You have dishonored me. Listen to what Allah says in the Quran. in the interpretation of the meaning. And those who accuse chaste women and do not produce 4 witnesses, give them 80 lashes. Here it is, Norto. And do not accept from them their testimony ever again, because they are liars. So that's the punishment. You have accused me of fornicating because you see me in a public restaurant, fully covered, eating dinner with some man who I'm not touching. Well, guess what? The punishment is on you. Now you will receive 80 lashes across your back for destroying my reputation. So thus, guys, we see that the legal punishment for slander is lashing. And not only that, not only will you be whipped, but also you will be deemed a liar. You will have your reputation is now demeaned. Now you will be known as a liar, which means nobody can ever accept any statement or any testimony you ever give. And you will be considered an evil person. The only way you can come out of that is to admit, that you were wrong. And again, Allah says in the Quran, in the interpretation of meaning, indeed those who falsely accuse, chaste, unaware, and believing women are cursed in this world and the hereafter. And they will have a great punishment on the day when their tongues and their hands and feet will bear witness against them to what they did. That day Allah will give them their the full payment of what they deserve. And this all happened because of what they did to the Prophet's wife Aisha. Same thing happened. She was left behind on a caravan. One of the companions happened to come along and saw her. So he offered her a ride on his camel. She got on the camel and he led the camel and brought her back to camp. They accused her of adultery. Oh my God, she's with this non-mahram man. They were gone for about an hour or two. Oh my God. Don't even know the story. No, I found her and brought her here. I didn't sit on the camel with her. I led the camel, back to camp. Same way, I'm in the restaurant eating dinner, run into a coworker. He sits there, we're talking, and I'm fully covered. There's no touching, no nothing. We're talking about the job. Oh my God, how dare you slander me? Same thing. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ told us that slander is one of the worst sins. In fact, he said, avoid the 7 most destructive major sins. And he named one of the most destructive major sins as being slander. You can guess adultery is another one. Fornication is another one. Murder is another one. Well, slander is in that up there with them. Okay. So again, guys, we have to be very careful making accusations about other people, especially accusations of adultery, fornication, or sodomy. And again, if you can't bring the 4 male witnesses, then you are to be punished with 80 lashes. Those who accuse and do not produce 4 witnesses, give them 80 lashes. Everybody understand that? And it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. Okay, so I want you guys to think about what you say. Looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Circumstances can arise. Okay? But I want you guys to understand something else. Let me look at this point right here. Carrying out the punishment for slander belongs to the person who has been slandered. If the person who makes the accusation is forgiven, then he cannot be executed. He cannot be punished. In other words, the punishment cannot be executed. Look at the English wording they use. I'll tell you guys, when you're reading these books that are translated into English from Arabic, they use really bad English wording. It cannot be executed, cannot be punished. However, only in the case of adultery is different. Remember, there's different types of slander. We're talking about slandering accusing me of sex, illegal sex. But if you slander me about something else, you say that I stole something when I didn't, or, oh, Layla told a lie about something, I can choose to forgive you. And if I choose to forgive you, then there is no punishment. But in the case of adultery, you're accusing someone of adultery or fornication or sodomy, that's different. It has to be carried out. Y'all understand that? It has to be carried out. Now, if you're accusing me of taking a pencil, that's something different. But now you're accusing me, you're destroying my reputation, accusing me of having sex. And you can't bring witnesses. You made a public claim against me. You have to be punished. You have to receive those 80 lashes. And again, that's to deter people, to keep people from doing that, because it's a serious thing. And when we talk about making accusations, for example, you're going to call me a fornicator. You're a fornicator. You're an adulterer. You're a sodomite. That's making the accusation. Okay? You're calling me a fornicator. You're calling me an adulterer. You're calling me a prostitute. You're making the allegation. And again, your testimony, you will be dubbed a liar, because you made a horrible accusation. So be careful of that, guys. Don't go around calling other Muslims fornicators. Don't go around calling other Muslims prostitutes. Don't go around calling other Muslims adulterers without 4 witnesses to testify to seeing them do it. Okay? And that's basically all you need to know about this type of slander. And again, this type of slander is in regards to making accusations of another Muslim or another person being a fornicator or an adulterer. Now, other types of slander, like, oh, he did this, some petty stuff, the person can forgive you. Oh, I forgive you for getting angry, saying I took your pencil when I didn't. But hey, you done made the public allegation of me being a prostitute. That's different. Even if I forgive you, the punishment will still be carried out against you. Okay? All right, so we're going to stop right there for today. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is speak about the prescribed punishments for alcohol, for drinking, getting drunk, getting high. And this includes doing drugs, smoking that so-called medical marijuana. All of that is haram. And we're going to talk about the prescribed punishment if you live in a Muslim country for indulging or engaging in that behavior. So we'll stop right here for today. If you guys have any questions or comments, inshallah, you can go ahead. Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah. Sunnahfollowers.